All right, so hi, I'm going to start today's class. You're not here yet, but it's almost 6:05. So I need to start the class so that in case you join afterwards, all right, you are going to, well, work with me. But in case you don't, you are going to watch this class and you're going to, well, of course, see what we're doing here and try to practice using this information. All right, so let's start, please. We are like working on the first lesson. I believe that we were able to work like a big part from this presentation. Actually, the most important part, even though we were just taking a look at the first slides, we practiced and we understand, right? I believe that we understand how to use these stative verbs and the difference with non-action verbs, all right, or sorry, with action verbs, because stative verbs are non-action verbs. All right, so I'm going to try to read once again these elements. For example, this one over here. I'm going to also try to have this opened. It's okay, good. So the stative verbs, right? So stative verbs or non-action verbs, they describe a state rather than an action. All right, that's very important to understand. All right, so sorry. The main idea here is that you need to understand the difference between an action and something that is only a state, right? And we talked about that in the previous class. We said that an action is something that involves like movement, but it can be like a physical movement, right? Or a mental movement in a certain way. For example, you can say, right, I'm running, and you can also say, I am thinking, because that's a mental process, right? So when you are thinking, you are moving some things in your head, right? So there's an action there. But when you say, I know or I don't know, there's not an action, right? It's something that belongs to your knowledge or something that doesn't belong to your knowledge, right? It's yes or no. There's not an action in that idea. Also, to like, right? I like you, I don't like you, right? She likes you, she doesn't like you. So over there also, it's not an action, right? It's not that she is doing something, she feels something, right? She has a sensation. And the last one the same. All right, but again, it's not the same with action verbs, because with action verbs, of course, you have a clear action, right? And the clear action is going to be perhaps something that you can see, that you can hear, something that it's like easy, all right, to perceive. But a non-action verb, again, is something that you can notice, but it's not a movement. It's not an action that you perceive. It's more an idea that you have about that person, and the person shows that state. Okay, that is very important once again. So I'm going to keep working. So that was the first part. All right. Now, in the second part, we got to see some of these verbs. These are some like categories that you have so that you can easily remember some non-action verbs, right? Some stative verbs, thoughts and opinions, right? I agree or I don't agree. You don't say I'm agreeing, right? I believe or I don't believe. It's not I'm believing, right? I doubt, I don't doubt. I guess, I don't guess. I imagine, I don't imagine, right? I imagine that you are, I don't know, right? I imagine that you're his friend, right? You don't say, I am imagining that you are his friend, right? No. The same with know, with mean, with recognize, with remember, suspect, think, and understand, right? Those are considered thoughts and opinions. Then feelings and emotions, right? I dislike or well, actually dislike is still kind of with a negative idea. So I dislike, right? No, I'm disliking. Hate, like, love, prefer, want, wish. right? You don't use like this idea of action with these verbs. Senses and perceptions, the same, right? It appeared that, okay, it appeared that it'll be easy. The verb to be, of course, but you know you have exceptions. Feel, hear, look, see, seem, smell, taste, right? Senses and perceptions, but again, you're going to have exceptions because the meaning can be different or the way in which you can use the verb. For example, we're going to learn about be, we are going to learn about look, see, seem, smell. All right? Pay attention to those verbs. And finally, possession and measurement, right? When something belongs to you, when something is yours, right? When something is possession, then it belongs here. Or also related to measurement, right? How you can measure certain elements in terms of height, also in terms of weight, right? So that's why you have a measure and weight as well. Okay, so that's like a review of the elements that we got to see. We practice everything, but we are going to now work with some examples. Let's read these examples over here, please, Astrid.
Good afternoon, teacher. Okay.
Hello.
Stative verbs can be used in any tense except for continuous tenses. I feel sick. I was sick. The cake smells good. The cake smelled good. I believed what you said. I will believe whatever you could say.
Great. Thank you very much, Astrid. Okay, so here we don't have anything new. We have these verbs that we consider non-action verbs, and we are using them. Okay, feel, be, smell, believe. But the most important part, because we know how to use those verbs, is that we cannot use those verbs in continuous tenses, okay, as an action. But as we're going to see here, and this is the most important part, perhaps, Astrid, is that some verbs can be used as action verbs and non-action verbs. And we also saw that in the previous class, right? Remember, have? Have can mean possess, but also have can mean eat, drink, right? Do you want to have or do you want to have some coffee? Right? Have is not possess. Have is do you want to drink, right? Do you want to drink some coffee? But you use have. When you have the verb have as an action verb, you can use it in a continuous form. And that's what we're going to learn here. We're going to start with be, okay? Be has two possible meanings in Astrid. One meaning is going to let you use the action form, all right? But the common meaning is only going to be used as a stative form. And this is very important to understand, all right? If you understand the difference between these two verbs, all right, between the meaning of these two verbs, you are going to easily, all right, know when to use the verb to be as an action verb and when to use it as a non-action verb. All right, so this is going to be for you, please, Evelyn. Let's read about be. Be stative, the example, action, and the example, please, Evelyn.
Good afternoon. Reading?
Yes,
Reading?
please. Yes,
Okay.
please, Evelyn.
Be stative. He is immature. He is always immature. Action. He is being immature. He is temporarily acting immature.
All right, thank you, Evelyn. Let's just repeat this word, please. This word is this part. All right, the stress is going to be in that part. Let's repeat one more time, please. Immature.
Immature.
Immature. Good. Thank you. There you go. Now, what is the difference? Okay, without actually you have the explanation there, but this is for you, Astrid. What is the difference between the stative form of the verb to be and the action form of the verb to be? What do you say?
And the differences between stative and action Uh, um, for example, in the first, maybe he's like it's a natural. It's for the person, maybe because he is always that immature, and the other uh, maybe in one situation you or he could be immature.
Good. Immature, right? Good. Thank you, Astrid. Good. But let's understand even in a more like complex way, but in a better way. That explanation was great. Let's try to use examples. All right. If I say this, Evelyn, if I say I am being Luis, I am being Luis, is that correct or incorrect? What do you say?
Correct.
Let's analyze why. Why do you believe that that is correct? Again, it's in the chat, okay? I am being Luis.
No, incorrect.
Okay,
Because
why?
uh, you use the verb to be in two times.
Yes, but also here, right? If you see here, Evelyn, I'm using the verb to be 2 times over here, okay? Is and the verb to be, but this sentence is correct, okay? It is correct. Why is this sentence correct? He is being immature, okay? It is correct. And why I am being Luis is incorrect. And yes, you're right. I am being Luis is incorrect. Why? Why is my idea incorrect and why he's being mature correct? Who can explain that? What do you say? Let's try with you, Astrid. Any ideas? Why is the sentence in the chat incorrect? Because it is incorrect. I am being Luis is incorrect. But why? Why is my sentence incorrect? And why is the second sentence, he is being immature, correct?
Sorry, teacher, I couldn't hear, but I think you asked me.
Yes, yes, Astrid, that was for you. I was asking
Oh,
you why is my sentence in the chat incorrect? And why is this second sentence, he is being immature, correct? In both ideas, I'm saying I'm being and is being, but my idea is incorrect and the example here is correct. Why? Why do you believe one is correct and the other one is incorrect?
uh, because you are always Luis, and it's a noun. It's a I don't know how to say a sustantivo propio,
Okay, yes, you can say a proper noun.
a proper noun, and immature is like adjective.
All right, good. That's interesting. It is correct. That's right. I am always Luis, right? Luis is not a temporary description, right? It's not that today I'm Luis, tomorrow I'm Eric, and the day after tomorrow I'm George, right? No, I'm Luis every day, right? So I have to use the stative form of the verb to be, right? And with the stative form of the verb to be, I cannot use ing, right? That's why it's incorrect to say, I am being Evelyn, I am being Astrid, I am being Luis, right? But it is correct to say, I am being immature. Why? Because I am not always immature. Only now I'm behaving, all right? So when the meaning of to be, all right, if to be is a state, is non-action. When to be is behave or act, all right, when to be means behave, comportarse, or act, actuar, it is action verb. Okay, that's why I can say, hey Astrid, you are being rude, right? Estás siendo grosera. And it's not that you are always rude. It's only that now you are being rude. You are behaving rude. You are acting in that way, right? But it's not what you are and who you are every day and always, right? Or you can say even when you are on a date, right, with a boy in your case, or with someone, you can say, wow, why are you being so nice to me, right? Why are you being so nice to me? ¿Por qué estás siendo tan lindo conmigo? Right? Why are you being? Are being, to be. But be is not stative, right? Be is behave or act, all right? But I want to see if you get this idea, all right? It's going to be important for me to see if you understand this idea. So please, first, if you have any questions, let me know. All right, if you have questions, let me know. If you don't, we are going to write some examples. You know where we write the examples, okay? As I'm going to pass the link, please let me know again if you're going to have or if you have any questions about that explanation. And there you go. The link is in the chat. All right, but please, it's important that you understand because you are going to write the examples, Astrid and Evelyn, and after you write the examples, only with be, you have to explain why you are using stative form and why you are using the action form. Okay, one more time. Stative form example, I am Luis, or I am 31 years old, right? I am 31 years old. It's not I am being 31 years old, right? No, because that's my age. It's not that today I'm 31 and tomorrow I'm 33 and the day after tomorrow I'm 16, right? My age is not going to change because I want it to change, all right? So that's a stative. But I can say, right, I'm being, right, I'm being a little boy right now, okay? I'm being a little boy right now. It means I'm acting again immature, all right? That I'm behaving in that way. Usually, all right, the last thing, please, before you write your examples, here, as Astrid said, here you use many times, I would say also all times, adjectives, okay? Because that's a description, a temporary description of how you are behaving. But here you can use adjectives, you can use nouns, as Astrid said, because this is who you are and what you are every time. All right, so please, let's do the following. Write 2 examples with the verb to be as a stative verb. All right, 2 examples, and 2 examples with the verb to be as an action verb. All right, so 2, 4 in total. All right, let me know if you have questions again. If not, we are going to have, please, 3 to 4 minutes. All right, 3 to 4 minutes. And we are going to check. All right, this is the one I'm going to use. It's going to be 3 minutes. All right, let's start, please, girls. Let's try the 4 examples. All right, don't get scared, please, because you're going to hear like a sound when the time is up. All right, no se van a asustar, van a escuchar un sonido cuando termine el tiempo. One more minute, please. Remember, only examples with the verb to be, okay? Only with the verb to be. To with a stative form, here you have one example, and to with the action form. Here you have one example. All right, so it's time. I think something happened, but we don't have the sound. But let's check what we got. All right, let's check what we got, please, girls. We are going to take a look at your examples, what you were able to write. Let's start with you, please, Astrid. Let's read the examples that you wrote, please.
Okay, teacher. They are being nice with the new member. He's being clumsy with the child. And she's smart. Um, and they are lazy.
Great, great, exactly. I'm just going to ask, all right, just to see and to verify that everything is clear. Astrid, your sentences are great. And again, why did you decide to use the action form in the first two sentences, Astrid? They are being nice and he is being clumsy. It is correct and it is great. But why? I just want to hear the explanation.
Because I feel more comfortable maybe with with this topic, that topic.
All right, but I mean, how can you explain when you say they are being nice? Can you say that they are always nice, or they are only being nice at that moment with that person, but they are not usually nice with everybody? What do you say? Do you think that's the situation in number one?
Just teacher, because maybe they are busy. They are at the moment they are being nice and funny, maybe.
Great, but you can say that that's not a usual situation, right? That's not something that you see every time, and they are always busy and they don't have the time to be nice with everybody. All right, good. What about number two? Oh, also the same explanation, just to practice, Astrid.
Maybe the person that is being clumsy is the father of the child, and maybe uh, they or he isn't patient
All
at
right.
the moment.
Okay, good. And what about the last two? You can explain the two in one explanation. She's smart and they are lazy. Why did you decide to use that form of the verb, or sorry, that form, yes, that form of the verb with the last two examples?
Because uh, maybe she always take good scores, and the other they are lazy because and they mm, and they have many responsibility. They have many things to do. Maybe they don't do the things at the time.
All right. Okay, good. Good. Again, right. And those are general characteristics that describe how they generally are. right? Only one detail. My only observation is in the explanation. Instead that they always take, right, good scores, is better if you use the verb get or obtain, right? They always get or they always obtain good scores. All right, just that one, Astrid. It was great. I don't know if you have any questions about this part.
Not teacher.
All right, good. Let's try the last example also, please, Astrid. All right, they are lazy and it's done with that. Good. Now, this one with you, Evelyn, I'm going to copy and paste this over here, all right? Because you need to do everything only in one element over here. All right, and it's going to be like that. And if you just enter, right, you're going to have the autonomic numeric, all right? But let's read what you got to write, please, Evelyn. Let's read your examples.
Okay, for example, I am a student. She is cooker. He's being cute with your boy.
All right, I think it's correct. I only have observations in the first two. All right, you read it correctly, right? If you only say I am student, it's incorrect, right? You need to say a student, right? I am a student. And here, do you want to say, what do you mean with cooker? What do you mean with this word, Emily?
Cooker, a person that cook in the kitchen.
All right, good. This is weird, all right, but in English, it's only going to be cook, all right? So if you are the cook, it means that you cook, all right? So it's the same word, all right? It's one exception, all right? She's a cook. What about here? Only explanation to practice, Evelyn. Why did you decide to use the action form of the verb to be here? He's being cute with your boy. I think it's correct. Here, cute is more like the meaning of kind or nice, right? So if that's the meaning of cute over there, it is also correct and it's good. So why? Why are you using this form of the verb there, Evelyn? How can you explain that?
He's being cute. Mm, mm, the action verb is being.
Yes, correct. And why? How can you explain why are you using the action verb he is being? Because it's correct. All right, but why? Why are you using that one over here? How can you explain the usage of that
Okay, because he um, is um, nice with
one? All right, but if he's nice, then you can simply say, right, he's nice or he's cute with your boy, right? Because cute is more like physical appearance, right? When you're cute, but you can be cute also in the nice way, right? You say, oh, you're cute, right? But here, Evelyn, what's the difference? Okay, I'm going to tell you this one. You tell me, what is the difference between you are cute and you are being cute? What do you say? What is the difference between you are cute and you are being cute?
the difference is in that you are cute is when you are the person and you are being cute is uh, in this moment that happened.
All right, good, good. I think that was great, Evelyn. Correct, right? You are cute is what you are, is who you are, is part of your personality, right? Is how you always behave, let's say, right? But the other one that was great is only how you are acting, how you are behaving now in this situation, in this specific moment. But we don't know, okay? We don't know, or simply perhaps is not like that every time, right? Perhaps I am not cute every time, all right? But now I'm being cute for a certain situation, or I am not immature every time. Okay, so I'm not immature, but now I'm being immature. It means I'm acting or behaving in that way, but it's not always like that, right? So it's great. So I'm only going to ask you one more example, please, Evelyn, only speaking. What example can you give me? Another one, please, Evelyn, using the action form, be and being, like number 7. What do you say?
One example more.
Yes, please, because it's missing one example, right? It was 2 with the stative form and 2 with the action form. So it's missing only one more with the action form, please, like number 7.
Okay. He's mm, his driver. This is an action verb, and he is being. He's being.
In that one, remember to help you out, Evelyn, you almost always use adjectives, okay? An adjective. Try to think of an adjective.
Okay. Adjective. Nice, kind.
For example, this can be interesting, Evelyn. How do you say posesivo in English? Try to imagine you're in your relationship with your boyfriend or someone. How do you say posesivo?
Heavy.
All right, that in a certain way can be applied, all right, but the exact word is going to be only possessive, all right, possessive. So in that way, if the word is possessive, how do you say, tú estás siendo demasiado posesivo conmigo? How do you say that?
He has been too possessive.
Exactly, with me, right? He's being too possessive. Exactly, right? So, and that's an example. So I'm over here, it's going to be that. Okay, he is being too possessive. All right. And again, it's not that he is always possessive. All right. He is not always possessive, but now he is behaving in that way. All right. And only one correction with the first example, Evelyn. Remember, you don't only say he's driver, right? That's going to be incorrect. You always need to use the a, and it has to be very noticeable. All right. He is a driver. And that's not going to be an action, right? That's going to be a stative. That's a non-action verb, right? Because it's your state. All right, so let's repeat those two one more time, please, Evelyn. He is a driver and he is being too possessive.
Okay. Okay, teacher.
Right? Let's repeat, please. Only repeat one more time, both.
Okay. He is a driver and he's being too possessive.
Great. Thank you, Evelyn. Good. Now, let's continue. All right, that's the verb to be. We are not going to practice all the verbs that we have here. All right, but this is the logic that we are going to follow. Some verbs, again, it depends on what's the meaning of the specific verb so that you can use it as a stative form or action. Okay, have. We are not going to practice have. If you have questions about have, you're going to let me know. All right, but we're going to read it. Let's read have, please, Astrid.
Okay, teacher. Stative possession. I have a car. He has a dog. Action expressions with have. I am having breakfast. He's having fun.
Good. Thank you, Astrid. Right. So when have is possession, you don't say I'm having a car, right? That's incorrect. You don't say I'm having a dog, I'm having a cat, right? That's incorrect. If it's possession, you only say I have, he has, right? That's the only thing you need to say. I have a car, I have a house, I have whatever thing belongs to you, whatever thing is your possession, right? But if you use have not as possession, you use it as eat, drink, or experience something, then you can use the action form, all right? I'm having breakfast, I'm having dinner, I'm having pasta, I'm having, I don't know, right? Any dish that you know, all right? I'm having lasagna, I'm having sushi, I'm having, right, fried chicken, I'm having also water because it's drink, right? I'm having water, I'm having coffee, I'm having juice, I'm having a beer, right? Or a glass of beer, I'm having a cup of wine or a cup of tea, right? Or a glass of wine will be better in that case. So that, right? If you use have as eat, drink, or as experience, I'm having fun, I'm having a good time, then you can use the action form. All right. But again, practice that one. If you have questions about that, you're going to let me know. All right. Here, what you're going to practice with me is see. All right. See. See also has two meanings. When see is perception and understanding, okay, something that you see and something that when you mean, okay, I see, I understand, then don't use ing. Okay, you don't say I am seeing some birds. No, I see some birds. Okay, you are not seeing birds. You see the birds. And I see what you mean, right? In other words, I understand what you mean. Okay, but more than that one, let's finish reading that one, please, with you, Evelyn. Let's read about see, please, Evelyn. Read everything that you have there, please.
Okay. Stative perception with your eyes, understanding. I see some birds. I see what you mean. Action, meet, have a relationship with. I'll be seeing the doctor tomorrow. They've been seeing each other for a month.
Great. Thank you, Evelyn. So, again, right? Non-action verbs, stative verbs, don't use ing with those, okay, with those meanings. I see some birds, correct. I am seeing some birds. In grammar, is not that correct. I see what you mean. I understand what you mean, right? Correct. I am seeing what you mean, incorrect, right? You don't say I'm seeing what you mean. No. And here you can say with ing when it's meet. Okay, so I'm seeing my friend tomorrow. It's not that I'm seeing him or her with my eyes. No, it means I'm meeting. All right, I'm meeting up with her. All right, it means you're going to have an encounter. Then you say, I'm seeing. Okay, I'm seeing my girlfriend tomorrow. I'm seeing my boyfriend tomorrow. Not with your eyes, just an encounter. Or to have a relationship with someone, right? We've been seeing each other, okay? It's see each other for a month, all right? So it means you have been in a relationship, all right? We have been in a relationship for 5 years, or we have been seeing each other for 5 years, all right? And again, it's to be in a relationship. So let's also work this in some examples, please. Here you have very clear examples to use, please, Evelyn and Astrid. Again, if you have questions, let me know, but it's going to be the same. 4 examples, okay? One example in the stative form for perception, okay? One example for understanding, one example for meeting, And the last example for having a relationship. Here you don't have a lot of variety with have a relationship with, okay? Your examples are going to be very similar to this example, but it doesn't matter, all right? The thing is that you're right and you can remember what you're writing, or at least try to remember that one. So, do you have any questions? Let me know, please, Evelyn and Astrid. If not, let's do the same, please. All right, 3 to 4 minutes and we check. All right, let's do it, please. For examples with those elements.
Teacher, I have a question. The word understanding also use ing or not use ing because it's a stative verb. ¿No? Creo que me comí.
All right, sorry, girls, I had a problem. Something happened with my computer, but I'm joining again. Okay, so again, let's keep working, please. If you have questions, you're going to let me know. All right. Remember, 4 sentences, okay? 4 sentences only with C. Perception, understanding, stative, and meeting or encountering someone, and to be in a relationship. All right, I'm going to stop the timer and we are going to put this again. Okay, so with my must be there. In 20 seconds, more or less, we check. All right, so let's take a look again at what you have. And again, look, that's going to be for you. It's the same logic. All right, it's the same logic. You can try to practice that. And if you have questions with Luke, you are going to let me know. All right, but again, we're going to try at least to practice one verb per slide. Let me see if you're doing good here. All right, so let's read your examples, please, Astrid.
Okay, teacher. She will be seeing the psychologist. He has been seeing with her since high school. I see your nonconformity. The other would be I see dogs at the street.
Okay, good. On the street, right? Good, great. Only in number 6 is because of the preposition, Astrid. Okay, so you can be in a relationship with someone, but when you use the verb to be, you are not going to use the preposition over there. All right, as you can see here, right? You don't say seeing with, you directly say each other. All right, each other is going to be the best option. Or you can simply say here, all right, like that. All right, so he has been seeing her since high school. All right, but you don't use the preposition, each other or the object directly. And the last example was good, all right, was great. I see some dogs out there. I think that's great. I don't have questions. First, I want to know if you have any questions or doubts, Astrid. Let me know, please.
No, teacher.
Okay, good. Thank you, Astrid. Again, we're going to try to go back and review some details, and you're going to let me know if you have some questions. All right. Now, we're going to work with you, Evelyn. Remember, I'm going to copy these elements here, all right, because we are not going to use this one so that we don't get confused. All right, that's going to be here. All right, I'm going to delete that one. All right, like that. And even we're going to try to work over there and then like that. All right, good. So let's read your examples, please, Evelyn.
Okay. I see a beauty dress in the mall. She see that it's better to be in silence. Pepe and Julia have been seeing how to travel through La Paz.
All right, thank you very much, Evelyn. I think we are working great. Only corrections in the two examples like this. Remember, when you want to use beauty, but as an adjective, for example, you can say, right, it is a beauty. Or some men are going to say, she is a beauty, right? So you can say beauty, but as a noun, okay? She is a beauty, he is a beauty. But you're not going to say like a beauty dress. You're directly going to use the whole adjective, all right? A beautiful dress. All right, I see a beautiful dress. Here they want to change that to past, but it's great. Okay, so beautiful. Beauty is going to be like a person or like a noun. Then she, remember, she is third person, right? So third person is always with S, right? She sees, she looks, she gets, she cooks, she drives, she studies, right? And that also is going to be here, all right? So she sees that. If you have that, you always need a complete idea, all right? Subject, verb, complement. If you don't have a real subject, you always use it, okay? That it is better to be in silence. All right, that's great. And here, this is correct, all right, because it's like finding out a way. This is another meaning, and it is great. Okay, they have been seeing how to travel. All right, it's going to be mainly that one. All right, how to travel to La Paz. But if you want to use it with one meaning, we're going to write only one more example, please, Evelyn. This one is correct, but what extra example can you give me with one of these meanings, Evelyn? It can be meet, okay, meet, an encounter, or to have a relationship. What do you say? What final example can you give me?
Okay. Manuel has been seeing uh, his friends, his old friends.
Okay, I think that's correct. That's like an encounter, right? And you are describing a past to present action. Good. Manuel has been seeing his old friend or old friends. Right. Good. I think that's great. I want to know if you have any questions about this, Evelyn. Do you get why you need to use sometimes stative forms and sometimes action forms? Let me know, please.
Could you repeat, please, teacher?
Yes, in general, I just want to know, do you have any questions about this one? Do you understand this information about C?
Uh, um, Only for 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 half clear. When I use the stative verbs, I use no, I should use the the base verb. So not I don't should no I shouldn't use ing in the
Correct.
state verbs. Okay.
Correct, exactly, and it's great that you mentioned that. And more than the base from Evelyn, I would say that you can use simple tenses.
Not
All right.
important.
What is a simple tense? And not only present. For example, here you can say, "I saw some birds." Okay, it is correct. And here, do you see? That's not the base verb, right? But it is correct. Why? Because it is simple tense. Okay, but you cannot say, I was seeing some birds. All right, but also as you said, is correct. You use simple tenses here, but you cannot use ing. You only can use ing when you use the action meaning. All right. So just to complement you, you're correct in what you said, but here, not only the base form, but also other tenses that are simple and that don't have ing. All right. I don't know if you have any more questions, Emily.
No, it's more clear.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Evelyn. Great. Thanks for asking. That's great. So, as I said, it's important that Evelyn asks that one. Here, it's not only present, okay? You can use simple present, you can use simple past, and you can use simple future, and you can use the present perfect. All right, you can use any tense, but you cannot use continuous tenses. You cannot use the present continuous, you cannot use the past continuous, you cannot use the future continuous, you cannot use the present perfect continuous, and so on and so forth, okay? You cannot use any continuous tenses here in the stative form. But here, you can use any tense you want. Okay, you can use simple present, present continuous, simple past, past continuous, present perfect continuous, simple future continuous, anything you want. Okay, with action verbs, you can use anything you want. You can use the base from here because you can use the simple present. You can use the simple past. All right, you can use everything. But what we are showing you here is that you can use ing. All right, mainly you can use not only ing, but you have the option. Here, you don't have that option. All right, but any tense, present, past, future. All right, any tense. So that is C. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. We are about to finish this, okay? Two more, one from this part and one from this part, and we finish. All right, let's go with this. This is interesting, Evelyn and Astrid. This is for you, Astrid, please. Smell and taste. Let's read that one, please.
Stated. The bird smells of smoke. This meat tastes like chicken. Action. He's smelling the cookies. She's tasting the soup to see if it needs more salt.
Good. Great. Now, analyze. All right. Read that one. Thank you, Astrid. Analyze, please, Evelyn and Astrid. And I'm going to ask you questions. All right. And you're going to tell me if it's correct or incorrect. Only this. Okay. Analyze for some seconds. And analyze the difference between these sentences and these sentences. And you're going to see that the difference is very clear. All right. So let's try to do the following. If I say this, okay, if I say this, the pasta, okay, this is for you, Astrid. The pasta is smelling very, very good. The pasta is smelling very, very good. Is that correct or incorrect? What do you say?
Incorrect.
Correct? It is incorrect. You're right. Good. Why? Why do you think it is incorrect? Because it is incorrect. But why?
Because you can use better the sentence with the pasta smells good.
Exactly. The correct form is the pasta smells good or very good. And why? Why do you think that the pasta is smelling very good is incorrect and the pasta smells very good is correct? What do you say? What is your guess or how can you explain that?
Maybe because it's like just a grammar or grammar rule, because I can difference between that sentences. And for me, for example, in Spanish, it will be great, but if you analyze very well, maybe it will be better to say smells only smells.
Okay, great. Yes, exactly. It's grammar, but actually this is very like followed in English. All right, even in informal English, Astrid, you are not going to listen to, it's smelling great. All right, it's going to be very uncommon. Perhaps in very informal English, yes, but because you're going to listen to, it smells great. All right, why? First, all right, an action is that, an action, right? And an object cannot do an action, right? You only use ing when you use your senses, okay? I'm smelling, all right? You are smelling. You are using your nose to smell, all right? And that's an action, right? When you smell something, you do like, right? That's an action, and you can see that. But the pasta is not going to, right? The pasta doesn't have a nose, right? The pasta smells. The pasta produces the smelling, okay? But it is not smelling. It's not doing an action, right? The pasta is not a person, right? Only a person is going to do an action, all right? The same in the other one. The meat tastes like chicken, right? It's like, it tastes, okay? The flavor, it's tasty, it's nice. But the meat doesn't have a tongue, right? The meat doesn't have a mouth. So the meat is not going to taste anything, right? It's not tasting anything. The meat, no. The meat tastes, and you are tasting the meat, okay? So you only use ing when you use your senses, All right, conducen sus sentidos. When you use your senses to do something, all right, to do an action. If that is clear, then it's going to be easy for you to make the difference. If not, again, let me know. But let's try to write again, please, examples for this. All right, again, if you have any questions, let me know. This is going to be the last set of examples. All right, with this, we are going to finish. So let's do it. If you have any questions now, please ask me. If not, again, let's have from 3 minutes more or less to 4 maximum to check your examples. All right, let's do it, please. Remember, the action verb is for people. I am smelling, he is smelling, they are smelling, correct. The base form, or you can say the simple tenses, the stative form is for objects or even for a person, but when the person is not doing the action, when the person is producing that. All right, let's do it, please. We check in 3 to 4 minutes.
Two, four sentences, teacher?
Yes, sorry, I didn't clarify that one. Sorry, Astrid. Yes, 4, please. Again, one would smell as a stative, one would state as a stative, one would smell as an action, and one would taste as an action. Okay, 4 in total, please. Okay, 4 sentences. Okay, we're checking 1 more minute, please. All right, we're going to have 4 minutes, 1 more minute, and we check the 4 examples. 2 examples with a stative, smell and taste. 2 examples with action, also smell and taste. Okay, but with ing. All right, so it's time. Let's check what you got. And with this, we finish this lesson. All right, it means again, we have more verbs. Here you have more, but again, you try to work with those verbs and try to see the difference. This is very important if you want to understand that there is a big difference between an action verb and a non-action verb. All right, something that is a state, right? The cake smells good. Right, it smells good, but I'm smelling the cake, right? That's the difference. That's a very clear difference between a non-action verb and an action verb. So let's take a look at your examples. Once again, first with you, please, Astrid.
Okay, teacher. And the ice cream smells of cherimoya. The pasta tastes like smoked sausage. My friend was smelling the flowers. The patient is testing the water.
All right, thank you, Astrid. I think it's great. All right, again, the main idea, you have objects, the ice cream, the pasta. Those are inanimated objects that produce something, right? The ice cream produces a smell and the pasta produces a taste, right? And you, as a person, as a human being, you can use your senses to try that, right? So you can be smelling, you can be tasting, all right? So I think it's great. I don't know if you have questions about this part here. Only one observation there, right? It can be at the street or on the street, right? If you say only at the street, it's going to be incorrect. But the best one, remember, when you have a surface, it's going to be on the street, all right? But that's not from these examples, right? The one was from the previous one. About that one, do you have any questions about the difference for smell and smelling, Astrid? Let me know, please.
No, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Astrid. And Evelyn, let's do the same with you, please. Read your examples.
Okay. The fried fish smells delicious. Many people say that the Chinese food tastes better than Japanese food. Andres, Andres is smelling the cake. Carla is tasting my food.
Great, perfect. Thank you, Evelyn. I think it's also great, all right? Only observations in number 13 for some details. Remember, the Chinese food is like one, all right? So here it's going to be like tastes, all right? Because it's third person. And if you say the Chinese food, then you don't only say then Japanese food, you're going to use the same terminology, all right? And you're going to say then the Japanese food. Or you can say simply Chinese food without the. Okay, so you decide. You say the with Chinese food and with the Japanese food, or you don't say the. And you say, for example, many people say that Chinese food tastes better than Japanese food. Correct. Or many people say that the Chinese food tastes better than the Japanese food. Okay, so you have to use the, or you don't have to use it. All right, just that one, Evelyn. In terms of using the verb, it is great. Okay, you have with objects, tastes and smells, and you have with people, smelling and tasting. I don't know if you have any questions about that difference, Emily. What do you say?
No, 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 teacher.
Okay, All right, thank you. Thank you very much. All right. It's like even in Spanish, you were saying, right, Astrid? I'm going to use a little bit of Spanish there just to give you the example, right? Like when you say, tú hueles mal or tú estás oliendo mal, right? When you say you smell, all right, you smell that, it means that you produce that, okay? And you smell bad, okay? Take a shower. But when you say you're smelling bad, it can be, okay, not always that you don't smell like that, right? You have to smell like this, right? You're smelling bad. You don't smell like that. Okay, so it's like the difference between hueles mal y estás oliendo mal. No, no tienes que oler así, tienes que oler diferente, right? So it's the same in Spanish, all right? That's the difference between smell and smelling. So smell can also be with people, but when you produce that sensation or when you do the action of using your senses. Okay, so that's it with action verbs. If you have questions about this lesson, please let me know. Again, it's so that you can have that clear. I believe that you want to take the TOEFL test, right? And sometimes in the TOEFL test or in other international tests, you of course you have the writing part, and many times you have to use a lot of adjectives to describe something, right? And if you use one of these action or non-action verbs incorrectly, that's of course going to affect, right, the score, because you are supposed to write action verbs with any tense you want, but you cannot use the ing, the continuous form, with non-action verbs. All right, so take that into account, please, girls. To finish today, first, again, you can let me know, you can interrupt me anytime you want, or you can raise your hand. All right, but today, I just want to give like a quick introduction to the next, let's say over here, the next presentation, so that we can work the presentation on Friday, finish it, and also we're going to work another one, okay? So on Friday, we're going to have two, because this is very short. Okay, so if you don't have questions about the previous lesson, let's introduce this one. I'm going to start with you, please, Astrid. Please, it's going to be like this. Request. What is a request? How can you explain request like in your words, using only English? What do you say?
When you want something and you have to, maybe you need help. You need
Good.
help. Maybe you could do something for for reach that what you want.
Okay, okay, good. Remember, you can say for reaching or to reach, right? To reach what you want. Okay, good. Very good. Try to give me one example, please, Astrid, all right? Sorry, before I can go with Evelyn, can you give me a question, or you can try to use a model, all right? Anything you want. Can be a normal question or a question using a model to ask for a request, Astrid. What example can you give me?
Examples of models of request.
All right. Yes, now that I'm with you, Evelyn, then, yes, try to give me you also, please, Evelyn, one example giving me a request. Okay, how do you request something in real life, Evelyn? In your job, or I don't know, right, at university, or in your house? How do you request something to someone? What do you say? You can give me the exact words.
Uh, for example, in this class, when I don't when I don't heard sorry, I didn't heard very well. I asked for can you repeat me please, or could you repeat me please? This is models of request.
Great. Thank you, Evelyn. That's correct. Only in your question, change something, please. If you say, can you repeat me? It's going to be not that correct. Okay. It's better if you say, can you repeat that to me? Okay. Or can you repeat that to me one more time, please? Or can you say that again? All right. So let's repeat those ideas, please, Evelyn. First, can you repeat that to me, please? Let's repeat that, please, Evelyn.
Okay, could you repeat
That, please.
that, please?
Or that, good. And if you want to say me, don't say repeat me. It's better if you say, could you repeat that to me? All right, so let's repeat.
Okay, could you repeat that to me, please?
Great. Or you can say, could you say that again, please? Okay, could you say that again, please? One more time, please.
Okay. Could you say that again, please?
There you go. Great. Thank you, Evelyn. Great. Those are requests. Correct. Thank you very much. So you always, right, ask for something when you want something, right? Of course, you do ask. And you use models as the one that Evelyn mentioned. That's great. Can, could, right? But let's work with some more examples. What about you, Astrid? What request do you repeat a lot, Astrid, in your daily life?
For example, at the in these times, maybe I was, or maybe I needed my study certificate, so I request my study certificate.
Great. And how did you do it? What did you ask, or what was the way in which you requested that, Astrid?
Mm, maybe with like a headline that is, I request my study certificate.
Good. And in the writing part, right, in the structure of the email or the letter, what is the sentence that requests that? Because that's the headline or the title, right, or the subject, and it's correct. But imagine that you are having a conversation with me, all right, Astrid, and I can give you your study certificate or your certification. How can you request that to me, one-on-one?
Could you give me my study certificate?
All right, yes, that's a straight way, right? That's a straight way, but it's a way in which you can request something, right? Great. Thank you, Astrid. Good. So you have that, right? Of course, you have many ways to ask for that, right? You first explain, right, the reasons that I need this in order to send my paperwork to this place. So please, I would like you, or yes, you can say that in many ways, okay? I need you to, right? Please, I need you to send me a copy, or yes, send me my study certificates or my study certification. Or you can simply say, as you said, right? Or instead of could, you can also say would. Would it be possible, right? Would it be possible for you, right, to send me my certificate? I need it because of this and that, right? So there are many ways to request something, and that's important to know, right? So you can play with the words, because sometimes when you don't know a lot of ways, it can seem a little bit rude, right? So it's better if you look for words to like embellish, right? Adornar, to embellish your writing and your request, right? So we have the time. We're going to take a look again. This is only the introduction at the first part, and we're going to remember and learn what models we can use to request something. This is for you, please, Evelyn. Models. Let's read it, please.
We use the models of request. and offers can, will, could, and would to ask for things, make offers, invite people, and order in a restaurant. These modals all have the same basic meaning, but some are more formal than others.
Great. Thank you, Evelyn. So here, I think this is necessary over there. All right. So you use can, will, could, and would. All right. All those models. Will is also a model, right? Will is not only for future. No, will can be used for requests for the elements that you're going to see. Make offers, inviting people, ordering in a restaurant, right? So can, will, could, and would. Those are all models that you use not only for a request, but also for offering something. And here you have like a chart. This is not always accurate, but the most important part is these girls, okay? Just in case, these two. Less formal, can, will, more formal, could, would. Only sometimes, okay, only sometimes will is going to be more formal. Okay, specifically for one question, only one question. But then it's better this one, all right? Will is only an exception over here because will is usually a little bit less formal. Okay, have that over there, please. Keep that in mind. Okay, or you can say, bear that in mind. And the last thing, again, to just having a speaking practice over here, I'm going to ask you for the difference, all right, between a request and an offer. To try to understand that one, we're only going to read two short elements, please. The first one is for you, please, Astrid. Let's read that one over there, please.
We use modals of request when we ask someone to do something or when we want something. Will you pass me the salt?
Thank you very much. Okay, so that's a request, right? Will you pass me the salt? Will, okay? It's not future. It's not me pasarás. No, that's not the translation, okay? It's not future. Will is not always future. Will is also used for requests, okay? And it's not future once again. That's very important. Offer. Let's read the offers with you, please, Evelyn.
We use can and could when we offer to do things. Can I help you? Can I help you? Could we get you something to eat?
Thank you, Evelyn. So, to finish the class today, Evelyn and Astrid, please, both of you are going to explain to me, okay? And also here, right? If you say explain me, is incorrect, right? Explain me is incorrect. You have to say explain this to me or explain something to me, okay? So you have to explain this difference to me, please, Evelyn and Astrid. What is the difference between a request and an offer? And you need to give me one example. All right, so I'm going to read one more time for you, and then you're going to explain. All right, so request. We use models of request when we want, when we ask someone to do something, or when we want something. Will you, okay, will you pass me the salt? That's a request, right? But if we go to the offer, it's the following, right? We use can and could when we offer to do things. Can I help you? Could we get you something to eat? All right, so with that, I'm going to go now over there and I ask you first, I don't know if you want to start. If not, I'm going to choose randomly. All right, who can explain what's the difference between offer and request and can try to give an example. What do you say? All right, let's try to start with you, please, Evelyn, this time. What do you think, or what do you say is the difference between offer and request? What do you say, Evelyn?
Maybe that the offer refers that to present something or is or make an offer. I don't know. In change, the request is when that is when this person or this subject can help.
All right, let's organize that a little bit better. I think you have the main ideas, but let's organize it. If I ask you this, Evelyn, if I say that the action is, where's the text? Okay, the action, Evelyn, is going to be a glass of water. All right, and the verb perhaps is going to be to bring. All right, that's the verb, Evelyn. Now, you can use that action in requests and in offers. All right, if I ask you this, who, all right, who performs, who does the action in a request, and who performs or does the action in an offer, Evelyn? What do you say? The main idea and the main difference is going to be there. What can you say about that, Evelyn? Who does the action in a request, and who does the action in an offer?
For example, in these sentences, maybe would you like a glass of water? This sentence can be the offer.
Great, correct. That's an offer. And how can it be a request? The same idea, Evelyn. How can you change that to a request?
The request, can you bring a glass of water?
Okay, great, exactly, perfect. Thank you, Evelyn. It is correct. Very good. So in a request, another person does the action, right? You don't do the action. You ask another person to do the action for you, right? Hey, please, could you bring a glass of water? Right? So you do it. I don't do it. You do it, right? But if you ask, would you like, right? Would you like, and even more, just an invitation could be, can I bring, or can I bring you, right? A glass of water. It means that you are doing the action for another person, right? That's great. That's very good. If that's clear, that is perfect. And again, just to finish this one with you, Astrid, the same, please, just to finish. Let's explain that again, please. Astrid, you can use your own words. What is the difference between an offer and a request? And what examples can you give?
Make a request maybe it's when you when you need a help that the other person can do for you. But when you first is the it's your help, maybe it's the effort that you are going to do for other person. For example, maybe an example, you can do your time or your patient, your time maybe. For example, can I play with you? And in a making requests, an example will be, could you help me with the homework?
Great, great. I think everything is great. The explanation, the example. Only the first example, please, Astrid. In the first example, when you ask, right, can I play with you, right? In that way, actually, it's like an offer, but more than an offer is like an invitation because you are both going to do something together, right? What example can you give me in which the other person is going to do something for you, or actually when you are going to do something for the other person? All right, you're not going to do it together. You are only going to do that for the other person. What do you say? How can you change the first example instead of can I play with you?
Okay, the other will be, would you like a coffee?
Okay, great. Exactly. Right, offering something. Great, thank you, Astrid. Correct. Right, the other one is going to have a different name. All right, that's going to be more like an invitation, and also like that one, right? But the main difference is that in the first one, as you said very well, Astrid, right, you do the action for another person, and in the other one, the other person is going to do that action for you, right? So can I give you, right, some water? Could I offer you, right? Even you can use the word, right? Could I offer you something to eat, right? And of course, you are going to do the action for the person, right? And the other one, it's the opposite. So that's it. That's the introduction, all right? It means that on Friday, Evelyn and Astrid, please, we are going to work with examples using not only models of requests and offers, but more elements. Okay, first requests, then offers, then you're going to check some invitations that is a little bit different. Okay, here in invitations, as I said before, here you can use better would you like, all right, but not something that you offer because the offer was great, something to do together. Okay, you and I, like an invitation. It's not going to be a favor, all right? And you have order in a restaurant and some extra elements, but up to this part is the most important part. So that's it for now. Again, remember, this is the introduction for what we are going to do on Friday. If you have questions, again, you can let me know, please, girls. If not, as always, I'm going to ask you to fill out the survey. All right, it's over there. It's time. Let's fill it out, please. And that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow in the conversation. Okay, have a good night. And, well, take care, girls. Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow, teacher.
Bye-bye. See you.
Thank you, teacher. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.